students, please note this today's program will be taken as part B, program number 2. So now we will see how this only one operation we'll see for the time being. Only insertion we will see. So first we will see insert, and then we will move on to delete. Then display is nothing but displaying all the elements of the array that we already have executed in all our programs. After sorting, we were listing out all the numbers in the array, right? That we already know how to display. So all these three operations we are implementing as a program, that too using function call as well as a menu driven program. We will be showing a menu for inserting an element into an array, for deleting an element into array, and displaying all the elements in the array. So this will be a menu driven program. You know how to make it as a menu driven, right? We will be asking the user to enter the choice. When we enter the choice, we will be using a switch case, and then in each switch case, case 1, case 2. Case 1 is for insertion, case 2 for deletion, case 3 for the display. And default case you will be just to exit from the loop. Got it? So you know how to execute using the main structure of making as a menu driven program, and using switch case how you execute. So first, we will just see what is an insertion operation. Got it? How to insert an element into an existing array of numbers. Hope you understood our program. So the first one is inserting a new number into an existing array. All right. So for this, we have seen many examples before also. So this example is just to make it as a program. Suppose this is an array. So how we will declare an array? How you will declare an array? An integer array. How to declare an integer array? I'm started with the questions. Kiran, can you tell me, Kiran, how to declare an array? Integer array, how to declare? Declare means what? We are Kiran, after telling good morning, you left. How to declare an array? Integer array. We always did know for all sorting programs we were declaring, right? So if it is an integer array, how to declare? Int. We will have to give int. What is the name of the array? We are giving it as A. And in square bracket, we have to mention the size, right? If we are giving it as 10, the size of the array will be 10. That means we will be able to store 10 numbers. After this, we will ask the user, enter the number of elements. Enter the number of elements in a variable called n. I will be entering, mostly I'll be entering 5, right? Or you may be entering any number below 10. Even if we declare an array of size 10, you may be filling it only with the numbers. Like sometimes you will make it as 10, otherwise, you will enter only 5 numbers, right? So in order to execute that sorting algorithm and all, we will be just entering 5 numbers. All other places will be empty, right? So you may be entering 6 numbers or 5 numbers or 7 numbers, whatever be the number of elements. The remaining positions, the remaining positions will be empty. What, Yogesh? So here, even if you declare the size, what do you mean by declaration of the array? You will be reserving 10 spaces, which will be able to store an integer value, right? In memory, we will be able to store integer value. For each space, 10 spaces we are reserving. In each, we will be able to store an integer. So we are allocating 2 bytes, right? So like this, we are doing the allocation, and then we are using only 6 spaces because I want to enter only 6 numbers. So in this example, I entered the number of elements as 6, and then using a for loop, we will be asking the user to enter the numbers. So it will be taking 6 numbers. Here in this example, I had initialized an array of size 10. What will be the index number of the first number? Index number will be starting from 0. Here you can see it is starting from 0, and the last index number will be 9, right? So 10 numbers means you will be having from 0 to 9. Now, in this example, if I am asking the user to enter the number of elements, if I entered 6, I'll be able to enter or I'll be storing only 6 numbers. So I entered 2, 8, 5, 12, 9, 4. After that, I'm leaving the 4 spaces as empty. You can fill it or you can, it's your wish, no? But it should not be exceeding 10 numbers. Okay, so in such a situation, suppose, I have entered only 6 numbers, and now I want to insert a number. Our problem is to insert a number at a particular position. Got it? So if I want to insert a number 7 between 5 and 12, between 5 and 12, that means I'll be inserting a number at the position. So what will be the position? 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have the number 7 over here. What is the logic which we will be using? Can anyone tell me? Janani, can you tell me? I want to insert number 7 over here. So what you will be doing? Existing numbers should be there, but I want to insert after 5, it should be 7. Then it should be 12, 9, 4. What will be the logic which we will be using?
Swapping the numbers to other position, ma'am.
So what you will do? You will not overwrite 12 with the 7. You will move this 4 to next place, 9 to the next place, and then 12 to the next place, and then write 7 over here, right? So this is the logic we have to follow. Right? This is the same thing what we are going to do now. Okay. So shifting will be the operation. Now, Praveen, you got that square bracket from where? One bold square bracket he has put. Okay, so here this will be the way we will be inserting a new number into an existing array of numbers. Right? So this way we can execute the operation of inserting a new number into an array which is already having numbers. Okay, so the same logic we have to use. The only thing is, that the position when we count, usually we will be entering the position. You will be telling we want to insert the number 7 at the position, which is the position 1, 2, 3, 4. We will tell it as 4th position. I need to insert a new number 7. So which is the 4th position means when we convert it into an index number, it will be 4 minus 1, that is 3. Index position will be 3. So it will be like 4 minus 1, right? So what is the other things which you have to keep it in mind? N will be always referring to the number of elements, right? Number of elements which are present in this array, right? 10 is the size of the array. Listen here, when you declare the array, you will be giving 10 as the size of the array, but number of elements which are present in the array is indicated by the variable n, right? Here we have 6 numbers. That means index number starting from 0 to 5. Got it? Number of elements, if it is 6, we will be having the values from 0 to 5 because starting index is 0, then last index number will be 5. So all these things, when you're, I want to tell you one more thing. Yesterday, Franklin, BCA, B batch, that he had sent me the that brute force program. He has written the program with the pen and with the pencil. Whenever that I was explaining it again after execution, he has written comment like explanation for each line. Yeah, if you are doing such things, that will be the best way of learning a program. I'll be asking only that one. No, this time for the lab exam, no, I'll be asking orally. And even if it is not complete, because there is no point in conducting online exams, right? I'll be asking only for the explanation. Program also you will read. We cannot do anything. So even if camera is on, you would know how to copy. So I'll be asking only the explanation of each line. Even if I'm not asking all the lines to be explained, I know how much you understood. So if you are writing the program, give one explanation, you write with a pencil. I really appreciate all those things. If you try once, like pencil you use and then write the explanation over there in each line. This is what the meaning of 2, 3 programs. If you write like that, later on you will understand. No need of writing also. You will be able to write the programs also by yourself. Okay, so this way, here, these things which you can which you will get confused. I am forcing again and again. Here 10 is a size, but n indicate the number of elements in the array. All the programs till now we were doing like that only, right? We were declaring it of size 10, but we will ask the user to enter the number of elements, right? So number of elements here it matters because if you want to insert a number at a particular position, at the end means it's okay, right? If you want to insert a new number at the end, insertion can be in two ways, right? Insertion of a new number can be at the end also, right? That doesn't matter if you want to insert a number at the end means it is very easy, but we are going to implement a program to insert a number in between or at a position between the existing numbers. So for that only this shifting is required. So this program logic I'll explain, and then the same thing what we have seen till now, that same thing we'll be explaining, and we will make it as a program. So insertion and then deletion is almost the same thing only, like a slight difference is there. So that will be easy for you. So now in this example, and before moving to that, now I'll just show. So insertion refers to operation of adding a new element, right? Adding a new element into the array. Insertion can be either at the end of the array. Linear array means what? It is a single dimensional array. One dimensional array is also known as linear array. Linearly arranged numbers, right? So it is also known as a linear array. It can be an insertion of an element at the end of a linear array or in the middle of an array, right? So end of the array means array can be done if enough memory space is there. So if you have declared an array of size 10, and if you want to declare and to insert a number, and it is already having, suppose n we have already given us 10, and if you want to insert the new number as a 11th number, then it will create error, right? Enough memory space will not be there. But in case, if you have enough memory space at the end of the array, you can easily insert a number, right? So this way you can insert there can be two conditions, either at the end of the array or in the middle of an array, right? So when you are inserting at the middle of the array, it requires, if you are just at the middle means like you have to shift almost half the elements to the right side to accommodate the new element. So it has to be moved, keeping the order of the elements. Suppose we have kept it in ascending order means we have to move it in the ascending order itself, right? You cannot just shift the number which is present at the position where we want to insert to the last position, right? We have to gradually move, keeping the order of the elements. So what are the steps for inserting? Create a space in the array by moving down one location. So you can imagine the array to be placed horizontally or vertically. So if you are keeping it horizontally, you will be telling it as moving down, right? Otherwise, if you will be moving to the right one location from the position to insert, and then insert the item into the array in the space created. Increase the size. So now if you had number of elements n was 6 means after inserting one more number, the number of elements in the array will become 6 plus 1. That you know already, right? If you insert a new number, the number of elements which is present in the array will become one more, right? So we'll be adding 1 to the existing number of elements. So it will become 6. In our example, it was 6. We inserted a new number. 7 means the number of elements after the execution of this will be 7. We have to update the number of elements after inserting, because it is a menu-driven program, and after inserting, you may go for any other operation. Okay, so keeping in mind that insertion has to be done after insertion, we have to update the number of elements present in the array. So now we are going to see the algorithm. This is the second unit topic. Okay, so don't think that this is required only for lab. I will not be repeating this again. So you have to write this. They may ask to prove array is an ADT. So this is one of the operation, like inserting a new number into an existing array. So what is insertion? What are the two types of insertion? Insertion can be at the end of the array or in between or in the middle of the array. And what are the steps we have to do in order to insert a new number. So first we have to shift the numbers to the next position to create a position to insert the new item or new number. You in arrays we will tell it as item also. It is a number means we are inserting a new number, and then after that we have to update the number of elements in the array, right? So these steps also you have to write, and after that you have to give the algorithm, right? So this steps and as well as insertion, you will be when it is asked for a particular marks, you should have the content understood. Inserting means what, and then what are the two types of insertion, and what are the steps for inserting a new number to the existing array of numbers. Now after that you can write the algorithm for insertion. Got it? So what are the steps for writing algorithm, right? So you can just tell it is an algorithm for insertion. After that you can mention the input and output. What is the expected input and what is the expected output? So for input, what is the input for required in order to do inserting a new element into an array? So the existing array of numbers, right? Existing array of numbers of size n. That means number of, of size n. When I write, you will be thinking it is size. Array of numbers with the n number of elements. I'll tell. Size n, array with the n number of elements, right? N number of elements, and val is a value to be inserted. I am giving the variable name as val to be inserted at the index position. So to this function we have to, as I told before, we will be writing the program as a menu driven program as well as using a function call, right? So when you are writing the program, anyone is listening over here? I am doubting whether you are all there. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, when you are inserting a new value, here for that function call, we will be passing the value to be inserted, the index position at which we have to insert the number, right? And the number of the array, and also the number of elements present in the array. So what are the inputs which is required? What are the inputs which are required for the insertion function? The array with the n number of elements, the value to be inserted, and the index position. It's not the position, index position, or we can tell it as index also. Index position at which the value or the number has to be inserted. And what is the output? Insert an element value at the index position. So you will be able to insert the element. If you want to display, you can have one more function we are keeping. That's why I gave output is inserted element. Now that element val is inserted at the position, int position. Got it? After executing this algorithm, we will be able to insert the val at the index position in an array. Got it? So what are the inputs? So when we call insert as a function, the arguments expected as the array with the n number of elements, value to be inserted, and the index position at which the value has to be inserted. So the array A and number of elements n, index position at which the value has to be inserted. So these four will be the arguments which will be passing to the insert function. Now, what are the steps for the algorithm? Now, the first step is we have to imagine this as an index position. So conversion of position to index position is done in the main itself, or before calling of insert function. Now inside the insert function, we are using a variable called I. We are using a variable called I. This I value, we are setting it as n minus 1. What is I now? So in this example, I was telling there are n number of elements. In the example which I showed, I had 6 numbers. That means n value will be 6. Now, what is I? I value n minus 1. Maunika. What is happening, Maunika? So I is set as n minus 1. Why we are setting I as n minus 1? You know that if we have 6 number or 6 numbers in the array, starting index will be 0. In the next hour, I'll be asking the whole thing again. Listen carefully. We will be starting the index number of 0. So what will be the last index number? If you have 6 numbers in the array, Nagaraj, can you tell me? If you have 6 numbers in the array, what will be the index number of the last element in the array?
5, ma'am.
Right. So we will be having from 0 to 5, right? So 5 is nothing but n minus 1. We are setting I as n minus 1. What is the meaning of I equal to n minus 1? We are setting the position of the I variable to the last element, index position of the last number in the array. That's all. So that is what we mean by I equal to n minus 1. Now, then the next step we have given, repeat step 3 and 4. What are 3 and 4? This step and this step. When index position is less than or equal to I. What is I now? I is nothing but the index number of the last number which is present in the array. That means our I we have set, imagine I is, or we can assume that I value is at the last, or it is pointing towards, it is not a pointer, I'm just telling, it is having the index number of the last number in the array. Got it? It is having the, I is having the index number of the last number in the array. I'll show you with the animation that it will be little clear. So we are checking each time before executing these two steps, we have to check whether this index position, where the index position is where what? The position at which the new number has to be inserted, whether it is lesser than or equal to I. Right? Whether it is lesser than or equal to, 1 second. One second. Why are you giving so that? Okay. Ulta I gave here. Okay. Listen here. I will make one change. Here now I implemented this animation making I greater than or equal to index position. So I will do the same thing here. Okay. I will write I first. I. Listen here. I had written index position lesser than or equal to I. If I put I in the beginning, how I should be writing? What is the meaning over here? I should be always greater than or equal to, right? When you read from here, what is that? I should be greater than or equal to index position. When you read from here, it is index position should be lesser than I, lesser than or equal to I. Is it clear? So I'm just changing because animation I have given I in the beginning. Understood? It is not a mistake, but I'm making it in the same way. I should be greater than or equal to index position. That means index position should be lesser than. It is same only, but I'm making it in the same way in which I had given the animation. Okay. So here what we are doing is repeat step 3 and 4. Which are the steps 3 and 4? Set I plus 1 equal to that. I'll tell you or I'll show you the animation. Whenever or until I is greater than the index position. I is greater than the index position. Right? So we have to do these two steps until I is greater than or equal to the index position. After doing all these steps, each time we will be decrementing. So here I value initially we have set as the index number of the last number in the array. After that, we will be checking whether the index position of the last number is greater than or equal to the index position, where we have to insert the new number. If it is greater, we will be copying the number at a of I to a of I plus 1. This you will not understand when I am telling like this. I'll show the animation. After doing this step, we are decrementing the value of I. Suppose now if there are 6 numbers in the array, the I value will be what? 6 minus 1. That means I value will be 5, right? So we'll be, if we are planning to insert the new number at the index positions 3, we will be checking whether 5 is greater than or equal to 3. We saw that 5 is greater. So it will be executing this step. Got it? And that I will show you how we are executing that step. After that, what we will do, I will be decremented by 1. So what is the current I value? I value is 5. So when you decrement the value of I, it becomes 4. Right? So again, we will move on and check whether the condition is satisfied. In the next iteration, we will be checking whether 4 is greater than or equal to 3. So 4 is greater than 3. So again, this line will be executed, and again, this line also will be executed. So what is the current value of I? Current value of I is 4. 4 will be decremented by 1. Now the new value of I will become 3. Got it? Again, it will go and check whether this condition is satisfied, whether 3 is greater than or equal to 3. You know that 3 is not greater than 3, but 3 is equal to 3. So when it is equal to 3 also, we have to execute this line, right? And then it will come to this line when I is decremented by 1. Current value of I is 3. It will be decremented to 2. So now what will happen? Janani, can you tell me when the I value is 2? It will be again coming and checking the condition whether 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Janani, can you tell me what will happen in this condition?
Condition will fail, ma'am.
So what to which step it will be going?
Step 5.
Step 5. So it will be moving out of this while loop, and it will be setting a of index position equal to 1. That means the new value to be inserted will be inserted at this position where this condition is not satisfied. What is the meaning of n equal to n plus 1? So we inserted the new number to the existing array, and after that we are moving on to the next line in which we are setting n equal to n plus 1. Nirma, can you tell me what is n equal to n plus 1? Why we are doing this step, Nirma?
Like first we had 5 elements, so we had added a new element inserted, so now the n value will be 6.
Okay, so actually in this example I told 6 numbers. Okay, the correct only you have told. We will be inserting a new number, so the number of elements will become 1 more than the existing. So we are updating it. Okay, good. So this way we will be inserting the numbers into the array. So if I start the animation, it will not get over, but still no. So this is what we are going to implement in this program. I'll just show one more time that same thing. If you can understand or write that array with an example, it will be good. So when you are initializing the array, what you will give? If to initialize an array, we will be giving integer array means int a of 10. Only 1 minute is left after rejoining. I'll explain it again. Okay, int a of 10, right? So then after that, we will ask the user. This is the first line. You can 37 till now. Okay. So here, when you declare an array, we'll be declaring it as an integer, and size we will be giving as 10. That means we'll have the starting index as 0, and the last index number will be n minus 1. So no, 10 minus 1. That means it is 9, right? And when you ask the user to enter the number of elements, we'll be asking the user to enter the number of elements. You will be giving it as so depending upon the user, if we are planning to enter 6 numbers, you will be entering 6. 5 means 5. 7 means 7. So here n is nothing but the number of elements in the array. Got it? Number of elements in the array which is of size 10. Got it? Size 10 we have reserved. We are using only 6 out of that. Okay. So after this, you will be asking the user to enter the value to be inserted. We are using a variable called 7. Got it? Now the number 7 has to be inserted at which location, at which position. We will be asking the user to enter the position. Position, understood? Because we will be just showing the numbers 2, 8, 5, 12, 9, 4. So you will ask the user to enter the number. He will be entering 7. After that, we will ask the user to enter the position. So user will be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Now suppose I want to insert at the position 4, right? Position is different from index number. So we will be just giving the position as 4. Now how it is related to index number? Index number is, so I'm just giving index position or I position you can give. It is nothing but position minus 1. Index is position minus 1. If I am telling to insert at the position 4, index number of that position will be 3. Index number will be 3. So my aim is to insert the number at the position where the current number 12 is existing. Got it? So this is initial inputs. What all we need now? We need an array to be declared, number of elements present in the array. All the numbers which are like 6 numbers means 6 numbers should be present in the array. Now we are asking the user to, so this step also we have to tell, enter the number of elements and enter the numbers of the array. So after that, we will ask the user to enter the number. So we will enter a number to be inserted. So it will be 7. Then after that, ask the user to enter the position at which we are going to insert 7. And we will convert that position into index number. Got it? So this way you will be asking the inputs from the user. Now what we have to do? So all the inputs are ready. So according to the algorithm, we are going to use a variable called I. What will be the value of I? What will be the value of I? Madhusudan.
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the value of I? We are going to use a variable. I told no, I will be set as the index number of, we are going to start from the last number. I will be set to the index number of the last number present in the array, right? If the size, if the number of elements is present is 6, I value will be set as what I showed in the algorithm. I value will be n minus 1.
N minus 1.
Okay, so the number of elements present in the array is n. N is 6 here. 6 minus 1 will be 5. So now our I will be pointing to this position. But this is another one which I have. So our I will be, so okay, animation came a little early. I will be pointing to n minus 1. This arrow, no, this I am pointing to the position where the number 7 has to be inserted. It has to be inserted at the index position 3. That's what we are pointing here. Now what I am trying to show is I value will be set to the index position n minus 1. If n is the number of elements, 6 is the number of elements. 6 minus 1 will be 5. Our I will be starting from index number 5. It is nothing but n minus 1. If n is the number of elements, it is 6 over here. 6 minus 1 will be the position from which we are going to start the I value. Got it? Now, after setting the I value, what is that I had given in the algorithm? I will be, the next step I had given as while I is greater than or equal to, right? I had given when I is greater than or equal to index position, right? So I will be checking whether I is greater than or equal to the index position. What is the current value of I and what is the current value of index position? What is the position, index position? So who can tell me? Sai Kiran, can you tell me what is I and what is index position? Sai Kiran. Sai Kiran, what is I and what is index position? I am maintaining that yesterday I gave attendance only like that. Don't think that I am just carrying people, because when I am calling you, if you are not answering, I am marking you absent. Okay, Sai Kiran absent, right? What is I and what is index position? Just now I told what is I, right? Tejas, can you tell me what is I? We are going to compare I and index position. What is I and what is index position?
5.
I is 5, right?
5.
And what is
Index is 5.
index position is?
5.
Eh?
5, ma'am.
5, both are 5. I we have set as 5. What is index position I told just now?
3, ma'am.
Index position is a position where we are going to insert the value 7. We entered 4 and we changed into index as 3, right? So index is 3 and the value, initial value of I, we have set it as n minus 1. N minus 1 is 5. So I is 5 and index position is 3. We are checking whether 5 is greater than or equal to 3. 5 is greater than or equal to 3. They just tell me whether 5 is greater than or equal to 3. Is it greater? Fast. Eh?
Yes, ma'am.
So what we have to do? What is the next step? I had told the next steps, A of I plus 1 equal to A of I. What is the meaning of A of I plus 1 equal to A of I? What is the current A of I? What is A of I? If I value is 5, what is A of I? Tejas, you are supposed to answer. What is A of I?
A of 5, ma'am.
A5. A of I.
5.
Number at that position is 4, right? What is A of I plus 1? I plus 1 is current value of I is 5. I plus 1
5,
is
ma'am. 5 plus 1.
6, right? So what do you mean by A of I plus 1 equal to A of I? What will happen if I give A of into A of I plus 1 if I give equal to A of I? What will happen? What is A of I plus 1? The position is, so what is the value at A of I? A of I, what is the value? Tejas, each time you are muting. A of I is, the value at A of I is 4, right? We are moving or we are copying the value at A of I into the position A of I plus 1. That means 5, A of 5 is 5, right? So A of 5, what value we have? 4. 4 will be copied to the next position, that is A of I plus 1. So ultimately what will happen? We will be copying the value 4 to the next position. But there will be a duplicate value. We are just copying the value to the next index position. That means we are shifting one location. We want to make place over here to insert 7, right? So we are just shifting one position. After that, what we have to do in the algorithm? Yeah, I had asked you to write the algorithm, right? After this, what we have to do? What was the 2 steps given after the while loop? Decrement I minus minus. When you decrement, the current value of I is 5. When you decrement the value, see here, we are decrementing the value of I. Current value of I is 5. 5 when you decrement, you will be getting 4. So now, what will be the next step? We will be again checking whether I is greater than or equal to the index position. What is our current I? When you decremented I from 5, it became 4. 4, whether it is greater than or equal to 3. Mridula, can you tell me whether 4 is greater than or equal to 3? Mridula. Mridula, are you there? Mridula, are you there? Rahul Pradeep, can you tell me this step 4 whether it is greater than or equal to 3? Is it yes? Is it true or false? Rahul. Don't waste my time. Fast, fast. True. Then what will happen if it is greater? It is true. Then what we have to do? What is the step I had given? You have not written the algorithm. That's why I'm telling you to write the notes every day. We have to, if this is true, then execute the lines which are given down, right? But if I move to the previous slide, then everything will go. That's why. So if it is true, or better I'll take it to the previous slide, otherwise no, you will not be. So this algorithm, in this algorithm, what I had given, like if this condition, if I is greater than or equal to the index position, what are the two steps which I have to execute? Set a of I plus 1 equal to a of I. Set means we are assigning the value, right? Setting of value. A of I, whatever value we have, that is copied to a of I plus 1 position, and I is decremented by 1. These two steps you have to execute if this condition is satisfied. Right? So our condition is, again, it is true. So we have to write, or we have to execute these two steps. So this algorithm steps you write down, the same thing we are going to convert into a program. And don't think that I will I will not be getting time. I will be taking extra classes, and I'll make sure that I will ask question to everyone. Okay, so this one, no, again, I'll be executing the program. One more time, I'll execute the program. So within 3 hours, no, I'll be catching you. One or the other time, you will have to answer. So the same step we are going to implement as a program. We are again, like enough lab hours are there. I'm executing the theory as well as the portions of the theory as well as the lab is going parallelly. So I'll be getting enough time. Okay. So here, when this step, that is while I is greater than or equal to index position, set a of I plus 1 equal to a of I, and then I value is decremented by 1. Got it? So whenever this condition is satisfied, these two lines has to be executed. This I will be asking if, in our case now it is 4 is greater than or equal to the index position. Index position is 3. 3 is not changing, only I value is decrementing. So when it is equal or when it is greater, it will be setting or will be copying, shifting the value which is present at a of I to a of I plus 1. After that, this step also, I is decremented by 1. So we have reached up to here, right? We copied like this and again decremented I, and then we are again checking whether 4 is greater than or equal to 3. 4 is greater. So what you will do? You have to again do the same step, that is a of I plus 1. A of I is copied to a of I plus 1. Which is a of I plus 1? I plus 1 is, current value of I is 4, right? 4 plus 1 is 5. The value at a of I, the current value of a of I is 9, right? 9 is copied into the position where we have a of I plus 1. So here 9 is copied into the position of a of I of I plus 1, sorry. So 9 will be copied into a of I plus 1. Got it? So before we had shifted the value 4 from this to this position. Now we are overwriting that 4 with a 9. Got it? Now what is the next step? Again, we will decrement the value of I. So tell me, Mehboob, can you tell me what is the condition now? What is the new value of I?
I is equal to I minus 1, which is 3.
So we have 3. And what is the condition we have to check in while?
I should be greater than or equal to index 1.
Index is also? What is
3?
3, right? So we are going to check now the new value of I is 3. So listen here. 3, whether we decremented I value, so it became 3. 3, whether it is greater than or equal to 3. So it is greater or whether the condition is true? Mehboob.
It's true, ma'am.
True. So what we have to do?
A is equal, if I is equal to a of I plus 1.
No, which we have to give on left hand side. A of I plus 1 position is the position on the right? So what we will do, assigning the value of A of I to A of I plus 1. So how you will write? When you write assignment statement, you have to imagine that the value on right hand side is assigned to the value or the variable on left hand side, right? Even though we are performing like copying from here to here, how we have to tell A of I plus 1 equal to A of I. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So as this condition is true, you will be copying, that is A of into A of I plus 1, we are assigning the value which is present at A of I. So this is A of I, 12 is A of I, and the value which is present over in A of I plus 1, that will be overwritten by 12. Okay, so this will happen when you are, again the condition is satisfied, right? Now what is the next step? What is the next step? After copying, what is the next line in while statements?
And decrement.
Incrementing, ma'am.
Not incrementing, decrementing, right? I minus minus. I equal to I minus 1 means I is decremented. So current value of I is 3. When you decrement, the value of I will become
2.
2. So 2, again, we are going to check whether 2 is greater than or equal to 3. You know that 2 is not, right? 2 is not greater than and it is not equal to 3, right? So in the algorithm what I had given, if this condition is not satisfied, we have to come out of the while loop, right? After coming out of the while loop, only one line I had given to execute, right? What is that? I told after that, no, if this condition is not satisfied, we have to move to the next step, step 5, in which no, we will be assigning the value. What is val? Val is the value, the new number which we are going to insert at the position index pos, right? At the index position, we had accepted the position where we have to insert and also the value which we have to insert. In our case, we had accepted the value as 7 and the index position is 3. Position was 4. Now we changed it into index position as 3. So if this condition is not satisfied, when 2 is not greater than 3, we came out of the while loop. This line we have to skip and then move to this line. These two lines we should not execute and move to the step 5. And we are assigning the value to be inserted into A of index position. Got it? Only once we will be inserting, right? Or we will be copying that value at that index position. And then after that, we are incrementing the value of n and then we will be exiting, right? So this is what is done over here. Now we have reached the condition in which this while whatever we have given is not satisfied, right? 2 here and all we were telling 3 is greater or equal to 4 is greater than 5 is greater than the index position. Now in this case 2 is not greater than the index position. So what we have to do now, at the index position we have to, or the position where the user asked to insert, we have to insert the number 7, right? So what we have to do now, A of int position. What is int position? Int position is 3, right? So at A of 3, we will be assigning the value. Val means the value which the user wants to insert, 7. So 7 will be assigned to A of 3. What is A of 3 here? A of 3, it was having 3. Into that position, we will be inserting the number 7, right? So we will be inserting the number 7 at that position, right? So this way you will be able to insert the numbers. Now I think that 3 was wrong. It was 12 only, no? When I did the animation, it came. So here at that position, we will be inserting. Now whenever this condition is not satisfied, at the index position where the user want to insert, the number to be inserted will be copied. So here this 7 will be copied into this position where the user had asked. Now we had asked the user to enter the position where to insert and the number to be inserted. So at that position it will be inserting. Now what is the next step we have to do? So we had only 6 numbers. Now count now how many numbers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So what we have to do now? We have to increment the n value by 1. So n becomes 7 here, right? So that will be the complete algorithm. So this you have to write, and then we will convert it into a program. So I'll ask the logic again. Okay, so don't think that I will no, you'll learn it and then go. Otherwise, each time I'll give one program without understanding, you'll execute like that. I'm not moving. And, at least 2 students. Brother was telling, if one student understood your program, that is enough. Not program, the topic which we are taking. We used to tell on last time we understood. Online classes are utter waste. We will be shouting, and then again we were taking it again. No? So now you have to understand that our offline classes will be happening or not, we don't know. It's all for you. If you with some knowledge you have to enter to either of these, either to the PG or for the if you are going for some company, they should not tell this is what you studied in BCA. Okay, we are not going to face the company people. Okay, so you have to take it. No, it's not our requirement that you should pass or you should be having more marks and all. I don't mind. No, I will never ask for the marks. If you understand, no, that is enough. That's why I really appreciate those who are writing the explanation. If you are, you might not have heard me telling congratulations for the winners and all, first mark who won and all. I will never check it. Marks, nothing in that. No, if you understand, and those who are writing also that program, if you understood and write, and if I find that you have explained it nicely, out of 10 questions, if you answer 6 questions also with the proper explanation, some students used to write like that. That is enough for me. So now I'm going to ask each one. So as I told, each step you have to explain. So those who are not answering, I'll mark absent. Okay, let me change it. One example, if you can explain in your notebook, it will be good. No, it will be good for you. And don't ever study like in degree and all. After when I entered into teaching only, I understood that what is the level of this generation. Always looking for the smallest answer and how to mug up. That is the only aim. I can understand. We used to learn from international or the textbook, and we will not understand, but still we will be sitting and trying to understand by ourselves. Teachers will not teach us, they will be just telling some 2-3 topics they will cover. And when we see the syllabus, that night only we will get the fear. Then only we will understand that they didn't take anything. Here we are going one word, I am taking in syllabus, all teachers, and giving notes, question to answer, capsule. Oof, what is the level? I don't know. Abhishek MP. What is, how to declare an integer array? Abhishek MP. Fast, no, I'll be just like taking attendance, I'll be moving. Tell me how to declare an integer array. Fast. You have to unmute and keep. If you are not answering, I'm marking absent. I'll continue in the next hour also. After that only I'll teach program. Abjit. Till now we don't know. Yesterday I had corrected your Abhishek, you answer. Now, Abjit, tell me how to, what do you mean by n? When you are asking the user to enter the value for n, what is the meaning of n?
It's a variable, ma'am.
N is a variable, but I told here when we are, what is the difference of the size and the value of n? We'll be asking the user to enter the number of elements, right? That we will be accepting as n. So what is the difference between the size of the array and the value which you are getting in the variable n?
Ma'am.
No.
The
Example, it's
values a part of
Hmm?
the
I'm asking for this difference, what integer a of 10 and n equal to 6. What is the difference between this n value and the 10, which I mentioned in square bracket?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
that A of 10 is the size of the array,
Hmm.
which
Size of the array. What is n equal to 6? This
sixth position.
Huh?
Sixth position.
Sixth position. I didn't tell anything about. So all the programs till now for in all the sorting algorithm, we were asking the user to enter the value of n, right? Number. So what do you mean by that position in sorting? First time I'm using the word position here now. So what you were listening till now? In this example, what do you mean by 6? How many numbers are present in the array? Huh?
6, ma'am.
What do you mean by n? I told also number of elements. Again, when I'm asking, you don't know, right? Number of elements present in the array is 6, right? So what is the difference between this n value and the size of the array? Size means what? We are when you declare a of 10, what you are doing? You are reserving 10 spaces in array. What is the size allocated for an integer array? Integer value? Abjit.
Yes, ma'am.
How much size is allocated, or now how many bytes are allocated for an integer value? How
2.
Huh? Tell me.
2, ma'am.
So how many bytes will be allocated if I'm declaring a of 10 as an array? How much bytes will be allocated?
2 raised to 10.
2 raised to 10. 10 integers I will be able to store, right? So each one is having 2 bytes means 2 raised to 10 or 2 multiplied with 10.
2 into 10. 2 into 10. 20.
20 bytes. So how much you were listening? Akash. Now what is the next input we need from the user in order to insert the number at a particular position? Akash P. Fast, next person you unmute and give, or I'll ask from here and there. Akash, absent. Archana, what is the next input we need from the user? Archana. Archana. Tell me what is the next input we need in order to insert a number at a particular position in the existing array of numbers. What we should ask the user now? Position. Okay. Then after that, enter the position we will ask, and then position alone is enough. Archana. Pass. Bhagya, can you tell me what is the next input we need? Bhagya. Bhagya, are you there? Yogesh, what is the next input we need? Only position is required? Rahul Pradeep, I am seeing your output in the answer in the chat box. Yogesh. Johnson. Tell me what is the next input we need? Position we asked, and our aim is to insert a number. So what we have to ask the user? Enter the number to be inserted, right? So here we are asking the user to enter the number. So I'm getting the number as 7. So position is 4, value to be inserted is 7. Yogesh, can you tell me what is the index, what is the relation between position and index? What is the relation between index and position?
Index number, ma'am. Position is which shows that position of the array, ma'am.
Then what is index? Index number. If position is 4, what will be the index number? I want to insert in this position. What will be the index number then? I counted and told I need
3, ma'am.
index number will be 3.
Index number.
So how it is related? Position and index. Position is and index number is position minus 1, right? I am telling.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is the next thing which we have to check? Deepak, can you tell what is that algorithm I had given? What is the first step? We are using a variable I. So we are making I as n minus 1, right? Deepak S. Deepak S.
Yes, ma'am.
So I as n minus 1. Here, what is the value of n? What is the value of n in this example? Everything is there.
6, ma'am.
What is I? Divyasri, what is I? If n is 6, what is I?
N minus 1, ma'am. 5.
One is we are starting the I value from the last number or the last index position. Last index position we are starting I. Now, what is that algorithm which I had given? In order to find the exact place where we have to insert the number. Our number to be inserted is 7 and the position is 4. So what is that algorithm which I had given? Can you read out, Gagan? Gagan, can you read out the algorithm? Those 3 lines with the while loop. What are the 3 lines and the condition I had given? Gagan. Gagan, are you there? I know he's never used to be there. I am calling his mother today. Johnson. Johnson, not there. Gautam. Gaudamuniraj. Can you read out those 3 lines of algorithm which I had given? He's waiting for the meeting to end. Gautam, are you there? To read out from your notebook, you can't, no? Harshida? Harshida?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read out those 3 lines of that algorithm? What is the next step which I had given after setting I value? While type in the chat box if you have disturbance. No, not disturbance. Okay, I was asking for this step which we have to repeat until the condition which is given in the while. What is the condition which is given in the while bracket? When I is greater than or equal to index position. This condition, if it is true, we have to execute these 2 lines, right? These 2 lines we have to execute. So what are those lines? We are shifting the value which is present in A of I to A of I plus 1. After that, we are decrementing the value of I, right? So whenever this condition is satisfied, we have to repeat these 2 steps. So repeat step 3 and 4 means when we write the algorithm, we will be writing like that. Because we are not using any curly bracket over here. Okay, when we convert this into program, we'll be just giving a curly bracket to indicate these are the statements which has to be executed when the while condition is satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, we have to come out of the while loop and directly we have to move to this line, right? So this line is like we are inserting the new value. We found the position where the value has to be inserted, and the value is inserted at the position given both the inputs we got from the user, right? Value to be inserted and the position to be inserted. Position we converted into index position, right? Then we are incrementing the n value. So this line will be executed only once. After that, we will move to the next line. Now the steps are very less in this program. You see how many lines of code will be there. If you are thorough in these steps, you can easily convert this into a program. Okay. So all of you give attendance in the chat box. Those who want to escape, you can do it. You keep on escaping. I'm not making fun of you. If you are not able to answer, leave it. I support. I know the level of each student. I ask simple question to those who are finding it difficult. I know how much I am supporting. You more than you people know between yourself. I know each student. Okay. So I know the level you can answer. I'm asking the questions like that. And tough questions, I'll be asking only to those who I know you will be able to answer. Okay. So don't think that ma'am is not like I'm taking care of all those things. If you try to escape, escapism will be the only thing which you will have in your life. I'm not like if you try to answer, no, I'll just support you. But if you keep on without listening, keeping on chatting in your WhatsApp, wasting your data package, and I know what you are doing with this. In the name of classes, you will be getting the money from your parents. It's your turn now. Your parents, you will be. They will be just asking you. But it is all your things, like you are going to earn, what after your studies. And time will come, when some of them, like how the world is going now, that corona is happening like that. Take care, some of our your seniors also, parents they lost, how much they will be suffering. We have to keep that in mind. Don't always enjoy. Your parents are there. Suddenly, if something happens also, so you have to take it seriously. That much dreadful disease is coming up. Don't try to escape from everything. Some of your seniors know they are a little serious now because not only now, last year also they were asking paid internship. Some are in that level, so they are asking for paid internship. Okay. So now if I ask you just answer, I told you, if you just tell yes, ma'am, and try to tell even if it is wrong, I'll support you. Okay. So here, this algorithm you learned, the same thing I'm going to convert into a program. Okay. So we told in the first step only, we will be setting the I to be the index number of the last number, index number of the last number in the array. Suppose the size of the array is 10 and we are entering only 6 numbers. What will be the index of the last number? What will be the index number of the last number? Mamata, can you tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
If there are, the size of the array is 10, if there are 6 numbers in the array, what will be the index number of the last number in the array?
5, ma'am.
Good.
Index
number. So, yes, good, correct. So 5 will be the index number, right? So we are setting I as the index number of the last number in the array. Right? After that, we are repeating the steps. So this repeating, we will be writing in curly brackets. So you don't mind that. You just think while this condition is satisfied, these 2 lines has to be executed. These 2 lines are nothing but this is just copying or moving the elements to the next position, right? A of I plus 1 means when you in the array you might have seen the next index position. So when I is 5, what is I plus 1? I plus 1 is 6, right? The number which is present in A of I will be copied into the position A of 6. That is shifting one number to the right. That's all. The condition we are checking is whether I is greater than or equal to the index position. We know the position where we want to insert. We are checking with the current value of I. We starting from the last index position. We will be decrementing the I value in each step, and then we will check whether the I value is greater than the index position. So when when this condition is satisfied, we will be copying the number, right? We will be shifting that number. If this is not satisfied, then we will move to the next step, right? That means in that step, we are when you come out of this while loop, it is a condition in which I is less than the index position. So we got the correct position where we should insert the number, right? At that position, index position, you have to write in bracket index position, right? Int position, the position which we converted into index number. Int position means index number. What is the index position? So A of index position. Suppose I want to insert at the position 4, I will convert into index number as 3. So at A of 3, I want to insert the number 7, right? So 7 will be inserted to, or it will be copied into A of 3. After that, we are incrementing the n value because one more number got inserted. We will increment the number of elements, right? It was 6, now it becomes 7. That same example. So we have seen up to this. So in each step, we will be, so as I told, I will be set as 5. That means n minus 1. And each, that while condition, we will be checking whether I is greater than the index position, right? If you want to give it as index also, no problem, or we can write it as index position. Index number it is, okay. So if I is greater than or equal to the index position, then what we have to do? I told no, we are. So here in this case, 5 is greater than or equal to the 5 is greater than 3. In that condition, we are shifting the number. You here and all empty positions, right? Even the reserved positions are there, each having 2 bytes. We had informed the compiler that we may use 10 spaces and we are using only 6. The remaining places are empty. Now when we are inserting a new number, we are planning to shift this 4 to the new location, right? So if this condition is satisfied, we are copying the number 4 to the next position, right? Again, when we will decrement the I value, right? Initially, I was pointing to this position. Now I value is pointing to this position. Again, we will check this condition which is given in while whether I is greater than 4 is greater than or equal to 3. It is. So we will be executing this line. The same thing I have implemented as a animation. A of I plus 1 equal to A of I. Even if I draw like this assignment statement, no, we have to imagine that is from left, it is assigned to right. Here what will happen? 9 will be copied into the place where we have 4, right? So this will be copied into this position. Again, we will be decrementing I. See, these 2 steps we have to do, right? This copying also has to be done and we are decrementing I. Again, then I value becomes 3. 3 is equal to 3. This is not satisfied. 3 is not greater than, but this is satisfied. So again, we have to do the same thing, that is A of I plus 1 equal to A of I. Right? So we will be copying this 12 into the position where 9 is. After that, what we will do? Again, we will decrement the value of I. So I value will become 2. What will happen then? Again, we have to check whether 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Asha, can you tell me what will happen in this position? Asha. Asha or Asha. In this position, what will happen? Asha, are you there? Asha. What will happen in this position? I can't hear you, but are you message? If no, in this position, we will be checking whether 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Whether it is true or false. Asha. False. So what will happen? What is the line to be executed? What is the line to be executed? Value 7 is inserted to what position? Which position we have given? We from the user we got the position as 4, but it will be inserted at the index position 3, correct? 3. So we will be, this is the value to be inserted. We will insert at the position 3, right? So this 7 will be now inserted at the position index number 3, right? So this is our steps. No, these are the steps which we have to implement as a program. So this is only a single part. Only insertion has finished. Now after that we have to do this deletion also. I made it very small. So this same logic we will execute as a program now. After this, what we have to do? After this, what we have to do? Bhagya, are you there? Both of us, we can mark absent then. Bhagya. Bhagya. After this step, after insertion, what is that we have to do? Bhagya, are you there? Johnson, are you there? Johnson. It is easy for me to mark absent. Mridula? Mridula.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the step after this? After inserting the value?
Then we have to increment the position, ma'am. That is n equal to.
N is not position. N is a number of elements. We inserted a new number. So how many numbers are there now? It was 6 before. Now we inserted 1. So we will be getting 7 numbers. We are incrementing the number of elements. It's not the position. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now we are going to implement it as a program. The same thing I'll be asking when we are implementing as a program also. The same logic we are converting, right? So now, so all of you should answer fast. No, like I cannot keep on changing that, checking the chat box and all. You should unmute and speak. At least unmuting you should be able to do. You're not kids, no. How you should know how to connect your mic. So when you join the meeting, you should know how to convert your connect your mic. Test it before the classes. We are not asking you to switch on the video. At least unmuting you should be able to do. Okay. So this is array as an ADT. So I'm just giving a 2B array ADT. Okay, that program number you can give it. No, now I am typing for the second time. So I'm just giving. So 2B array ADT. So first line will be # include stdio.h. So this will be the line to link the program with the header file. Right now, all the operations, we were telling about 3 operations: insertion, deletion, and also the display of the numbers. We are going to implement as a menu driven program. And one more thing is, from the menu, from each case, we will be calling it as a function call. Got it? You will be making a function call. So now, what are the 3 functions which we have? No, like 3 operations we are making it as a function call. So we are naming it as insert. This will be the insert function. Now for the insert operation. Second operation is delete operation. We will be passing the arguments. I'm just naming it like that. Third will be our display operation, which is nothing but traversing through the array, right? These are the 3 operations, which will be implemented in this program. For insertion, what are the arguments which you should be passing? And for deletion and for displaying, what are the arguments? We have written it as void. That means what? What is the meaning of void? Gagan, are you there? Gagan. Unmute and tell, otherwise 3 hours of attendance will be going. Gagan. Gagan, are you there? So I'm marking you absent all the 3 hours. Aryan Kumar? Aryan. What are the arguments we need for the insert operation? Aryan Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what are the arguments we need for the insert operation. Just now we studied, no? Insert. What are the arguments we need? Insert operation is done on what?
int a value pause.
Int a, all you are just reading from there. What is int a? What is int a? What type of data type it is? Int a? Yeah. Square.
Array, ma'am. int a array.
Integer array. Then array.
Yes, ma'am.
Then what is the next argument? What we need from the user? What is our aim? Insert means what? What we are going to insert?
Position, ma'am.
Insert position.
Int pos.
What is pos? What is position? Don't mug up and learn. What is position? What we will accept as position? Not listening, just copying. Huh? We are going to insert what? At PO. What is POS?
Position, ma'am. pos position.
Position for what? Huh? Position for what? Inserting a new number, right? We are going to insert a
Yes, ma'am.
value at the position pos, right? So these are the arguments which we need. And one more thing we were telling is that the number of elements which is present in the array. Usually we used to pass along with array number of elements also, right? These are the arguments which we are expecting for the insert operation. Now, array, the number of elements in the array, and the position at which we have to insert, and then the value which we have to insert, right? Mostly we will be accepting the value first, and then so I'll just write it in the same order, because value to be insert and the position in the same order you have to give. If you give pos and value later also, no problem. In the same order, we will ask the user to enter the value to be inserted and enter the position to be inserted. Now, as the number of elements is a global variable, and now it is a number which will be affecting all other operations for deletion and also for the displaying of the numbers. We are going to make it as a global variable. Are you all listening? We are not passing it as an argument. Here we are just making it as a global variable, because n value and the n value which we are using will be used by all the three operations. So we are making it as a global variable. When we are making it as a global variable, we need not pass it as an argument. It is accessible in all the functions, right? In insert also, in delete also, and display also. Actually, we can implement this program without passing arguments, but now for the time being, we'll go with this method. Okay. Otherwise, you will get confused. So now, as this number of elements in the array is affecting, or when we change after insertion, if we had 6 numbers, after insertion it will become 7, right? So when you are going for displaying the numbers of the array, we should be displaying all the 7 numbers, right? That's why we are declaring it as a global variable. Got it? If you delete a number also, number of elements initially was 6. Now, if you delete one number of elements will become 5. So again, the deletion operation also will be changing the value of n. So we are making it as a global variable. Otherwise, if you are making it as a local variable, what will happen? Nirma, can you tell me what will happen if I declare n as a local variable?
Only within that loop it will be accessed, the n value.
Not loop, only within that function, right? If I am declaring n in main, it will be accessible. The value will be retained only in main. If I am declaring n in insert, the changes of n plus 1 will be reflected only that in that function, right? So after inserting, when you come out of that function, again the value will be 6 itself, right? I changed into 7, but when I come out of that insert function, it will be again 6. So in order to avoid that, whatever change we make, that has to be updated in the global variable n. Got it? So now after that we are making it as, so next class I will be again asking, because this program will not get over today. I am doing only one insert function. Who is that? Okay. So here we will be we are going to see now how to insert the numbers. So same logic only we will be using, but as I told, we are going to implement as a menu driven program. Some initial thing also will be there in the main. Okay, so for insert also, for delete also, for display also, what is the essential thing? We need the array, right? We need the array, so we need to declare, we have to declare the array, right? We are declaring the array, and for getting the values, whatever variables we need, that is n to accept the number of elements in the array. The other variables we will declare whenever we are using it. For the time being, we need number of elements in the array and the array itself. Now, first we have declared array and number of elements in the array. So now we will be just seeing printf. Now we will ask the user to enter the, as usual, for sorting also we were doing the same thing. Enter the number of elements, right? Which variable I'll be using in order to get the number of elements? Which variable I will be using? Praveen, can you tell me? In which variable I will... Who is that? Tell me.
Praveen, ma'am.
Tell me which variable I will be using. Very easy question I asked.
N, ma'am.
N. Good. Suddenly I thought of asking.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You are not going. One more question I'll ask. Because of easy question, he is telling me thank you.
Yeah.
I'll ask tough question. So now how to accept the elements of the array, Praveen? How to accept all the numbers of the array using a Praveen? Easy question. Thank you. He left it.
Ma'am.
For I equal to
0.
I equal to 0.
I less than n.
I less than n. He know. I plus.
I plus plus.
Okay, good. Now,
thank you, ma'am.
Again, thank you. Scanf %d, right? %d, and then ampersand a of I. So this way we will be accepting all the elements of the array. Okay. So this way we got all elements of the array. Now, our array is ready. Number of elements also ready. This is the essential thing we need. Now, after that, what we have to do? Now, as it is a menu-driven program, we can do either insertion or deletion or display, right? So we are asking the user printf. We are going to display the menu. How to display the menu? The first option we are going to give it as insert. Got it? So insertion. We are naming it as insertion. One more thing. If you want to make it as a menu driven, as well as if you are without exiting, if you want to make it as a continuous loop, you can make it within while, right? While I showed you for the first menu driven program. I will ask one tough question now. What is the meaning of while one? While one, Nevin. Tough question. What is while one? What is the meaning of one? If you give in bracket, Nevin, Praveen, friends, so I am asking, Nevin. What is the meaning of while one? What is the meaning of while one?
Why one, ma'am?
But in the bracket.
Input value. Input value, ma'am.
No, input. It is usually in bracket we will give the condition to be checked for the while loop. If the condition is true, then the lines will be executed, right? The statements, whatever we give within the bracket, we will be executing. But now when you, so as I told, whenever the condition, what we will give in bracket for the while loop, we will give the condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute the lines which are given as a statement for the while loop, right? So now, what is the meaning of 1? 1 and 0. 1 is taken as true. But if I am giving it as 0, it will be taken as false. So default, without any proper condition, we are giving directly true. If I am giving 1, no, it will be taken as true. If I am giving 0, it will be taken as false. So when we are giving 1, that means every time it will be executing the statements. It makes an infinite loop. Every time or whenever this while it is checking for the condition, always it will be returning true. When it is true, there is no condition for making it as false, but it always it is giving 1. While 1 means always it is true. That means execute all the lines which are given within the bracket of while. Got it? So whatever we give inside this bracket, it will be executed without checking any condition, because the condition itself is given as true case. Got it? Now again in the next class I'll be asking, so you should be telling me within the bracket we will be, for the while, within the bracket I'll be giving the condition to be checked. If the condition is true, then it will execute the lines to be executed, right? If the condition is false, it will not execute the lines which is given within the bracket. Now, if I give 1, that means the condition is true. 1 indicates true. So it is nothing like nothing, but directly, if we are passing, the meaning of 1 is directly we are passing the result as true. 1 and true is taken as 1 is taken as true. So if you give some condition also, whether 1 is equal to 1, that means it will be returning true. Any arithmetic expression you can give, or any relation expression you can give, which will be returning true, right? But now I directly gave the condition, the result of that, if I'm giving directly 1 means always it is taken as true. Got it? Now inside whatever I'm giving, all the lines which I'm planning to give within this curly bracket, it will be executed. Got it? So now we are making it as an infinite loop. I'll show you the difference. And if you are not printing within the while loop, if you are just giving the printf statement, it will be executed only once. But if you are giving within this while loop, it will be executed many times until we come out of, until a condition is satisfied to come out of the while loop. So for that, we will be giving the default case as exit. Got it? So these are the steps for making it as a menu driven program, as well as in order to make it as an infinite loop. So for menu, what all we have to give, the first condition is first menu, we will show insertion. Second, we will show it as deletion, second operation. And third, we will show it as third menu, we will show it as display. So these are the 3 things which we will be showing, and after that we can ask the user to enter the choice, right? You can either give it in the same line or you can give it in the next line. Okay, so we will ask the user to enter the choice. Enter the choice. So these are the steps, which this will be showing the menu 1 insert. I gave a new line so that from 2 onwards it will be printed in the next line. I gave a new line so that from 3 onwards it will be printed on the next line. Got it? So this will be displaying the menu. After that, the next line it will be enter the choice. I didn't close the double quotes, that's why it is in red. Okay. After this, we have to accept the choice. For accepting the choice, we will be giving scanf %d. After that, ampersand. So we will declare one more variable to get the choice from the user, ch. Choice, we are accepting in a variable called ch. Got it? So after asking for the user to enter the choice, we will be accepting the choice in a variable called ch. Got it? So now we displayed the menu. The user will be entering the choice. Now what is, how to implement this menu driven program using a switch case, right? Switch case, and in bracket we'll be passing the variable which will determine the case to be executed. For switch case, what is the syntax? We have to start with a curly bracket. After that, we will be labeling the case, right? So we are naming the case as case 1. We have how many cases? We have case 1, case 2, and case 3, right? So here we are naming it as case 1, and we will be getting the input from the user after. So what all we need for executing for case 1? We have asked the user to enter the array to get the number of elements, value to be. We have to now get the value to be inserted and also the position to be inserted. The array and the number of elements are ready, but we have to get the the position and the value to be inserted. So when we come to this case, the first thing what we have to ask the user is, case 1 we selected because we want to insert a number. First thing we will be asking the user to do is enter the value to be inserted, right? Insertion means inserting a value, right? Enter the value to be inserted. Enter the value to be inserted, right? So the user will be entering. So that we will be accepting in a variable %d ampersand val. I'm using a variable called val. So I have to declare this variable, remind me. So then printf, enter the, what we have to ask now. Nidhin, can you tell me, BSc, after getting the value, what we have to ask the user? Nidhin.
Yes, ma'am.
What we have to ask the user now?
Yes, ma'am.
What we have to ask the user now after getting the value to be inserted? What is the next thing I have to ask the user? Value to insert, where are you? You're not listening, Nidhin.
Yes, ma'am.
Enter the position, right? Enter the position to insert that value. So here you will be accepting in a variable called, which variable I was using for getting the position? Nidhin, which variable I was using for getting the position?
Impose, ma'am.
You will be using the variable called pose. So this is position. Now how to convert into index? What is the relation between index number and the position?
N-1.
N-1. Position and
it
index.
Is less than 1. It is.
Index number
yes,
is less position -1, right? So position
yes,
-1 will be giving me the index position, right? You can use any variable. I am using int. So index pos also you can use index position if you want to name it. So you got the position also. You got the number to be inserted. We converted into index position. After that, what you will be doing? You will be calling that. Now we are not going to implement here. We are just making a function call from here. What is the name of the function? Insert, right? What are the arguments which we are going to pass now? Same thing we have to follow. Whatever we followed, we had committed to compiler that we will be passing an array. Second will be the value and the position, right? We are not passing the number of elements because we are declaring it as a global variable. Those who want to listen, you listen, because if I'm keeping on asking, no. So this one, we will be passing the number of elements, and then what is the value to be inserted, and then third will be the position. If you interchange the position and value, the function will not work. Okay, whatever is the order of the value arguments, the same order we have to maintain when you are declaring, defining, and calling the function. Right? So after calling the function, we can give a break because only this much is there for case 1. All the rest of the things we have to do in the insertion function definition. Got it? When you call insert function, it will be moving to the insert function, right? So the function call is here. Now function definition is coming later. So we have to move to that line. So when you call this insert function, the program control will be moving to that line, right? Case 2, we can just name it over here. Case 2. Again, no, we are not implementing now. I'm just giving a break. Okay. Case 3. Case 3 is what? Case 3 is for display. That is also, no, we are not implementing now because in this class, no, there is no time now. So case 3 also we will see in the next class. So this is break. And always, for switch case, we need to have a default case, right? So don't copy the program now. As I told, this program you will not be executing. You cannot complete now. And when I'm typing the program, I don't like you people writing the program. So this program, don't tell me to, don't send me writing in the observation or Writing an observation, it's okay, but again, you have to cancel and write. And this break and all now, we have to fill it in the next week. So you will not be able to execute the complete program. This is only a part of the program. Okay. After default, you can close the bracket. Which bracket? For switch case, we had opened, no? All these are coming under the switch case. So all the three cases along with the default, I'm giving exit in default. If you want to give wrong choice also, you can give. Okay. So these are the lines which will be executed inside the switch case. Now, after switch case bracket, what are the brackets which we have to close now? We had opened a bracket for the while loop, right? And we had opened a bracket for the main. So two more brackets are remaining to be closed. This for loop bracket is already closed here, right? So only two more brackets we have to close. Switch case we closed now. So we are going to close the while bracket, and after that, we have the main bracket. Now